The forbidden river was quiet. The black water no longer whispered. The stone path had vanished. But Nebi and Sata sat on the edge, side by side, breathing slowly as the light of dawn touched the world again. Their faces were calm, but their souls were changing. Sata no longer looked like just a girl. Her eyes were older, wiser, holding secrets too deep to say out loud. Her serpent power had reached its full shape. And Nebi, sweet, kind Nebi, was no longer only human. Her body still felt like hers, but her blood moved like the river. She could hear things now, the heartbeat of trees, the language of water, even the dreams of birds. A golden line had appeared across her forehead, shaped like a small cowled serpent. "You're becoming one of us," Sata said, gently touching her sister's face. Nebi smiled softly. "No. I'm becoming one of you." They walked back to Kamakwi. They walked for 2 days through the forest. No animals came close. The trees bent slightly as if bowing. Even the wind moved around them carefully. On the third morning, they saw Kamakwi in the distance. But something was wrong. Smoke rose into the sky. The burning village. They ran into the village square. What they saw broke their hearts. Huts had been burned. The market was empty. Ash covered the ground. Some people were hiding in the trees, scared and crying. Mofotu was sitting on the ground, her wrapper torn, her hands covered in ash. "Mama." Sata ran to her. Mofotu looked up slowly. "They came," she whispered. "While you were gone." Not the whispering mask, but the fire wives of Moa. "Who are they?" Nebi asked. Mofotu's voice trembled. "Spirits of jealousy. Snake-eating spirits. They walk in the form of women, tall, red-eyed, dressed in white fire. They said Kamakwi had broken balance. They said the blood of the river now lives in 2 girls. So they burned the village. To punish us for your power." "Where is Mama Aisatu?" Sata asked quickly. "She's alive," Mofotu said. "But taken." The message left behind. In the middle of the square was a tall tree that had not been touched by fire. On its trunk was a message written in thick red paint. "The fire wives of Moa." Nebi's knees gave way. She dropped to the ground, shaking. "They have Mama." Sata knelt beside her, holding her hand. "We'll get her back. I swear it." Mofotu stood slowly. "There's something else you need to know. The river mouth is not just a place. It's a gate. A gate to Moa's world. You may not return if you enter." "I will go," Nebi said firmly. "So will I," Sata added. That night, they dreamed of the council. While they rested in the remains of their hut, Nebi had a dream. She stood in a round hall made of water and stars. Around her were 9 glowing figures, half serpent, half spirit. Each had eyes like oceans and crowns made of coral and bone. The voice echoed. "You have awakened the twin flame. That power has not been seen since the beginning. Now you must face the Serpent Council and pass the final test. If you survive, you may rewrite the law of river and land. If you fail, both worlds will drown." Nebi gasped and fell to her knees. "But I don't know what to do." Another voice whispered. "Love your sister. Love yourself. That is the key. But beware. Moa fears your bond. He will send the thing you fear most. To break it." Preparing for the river mouth. The next day, the sisters dressed in sacred cloth, deep blue and brown wrappers, drawn with protective symbols. Mofotu painted white lines on their faces. Before they left, she gave Nebi a small gourd. "Inside is river fire," she said. "Only use it when your heart is sure." She gave Sata a bone dagger. "For cutting lies," she said. They hugged her tightly. Tears ran down Mofotu's cheeks. You were both born from love, she whispered. Let love lead you home. On the 7th night, the river mouth was waiting. It sat between two cliffs, where the river met the endless sea. The waves crashed loud. The wind screamed. Lightning flashed far off, though there was no rain. Standing on the rocks were 3 firewives. Their bodies were made of glowing white flames. Their hair flowed like smoke. Their eyes burned red. And in their hands, they held a chain. Mama Aissatou was tied at the edge. She looked weak, but alive. The middle firewife raised her hand. You came. Sata stepped forward. Let her go. No, the spirit hissed. You must pass through the gate. You must survive Mawa's word. Then you may earn her freedom. And if we refuse? Nebi asked. The other firewife smiled. Then we burn her. And Kamakwi next. Sata and Nebi looked at each other. They nodded. We are ready. The sea parted like it heard their voices. A glowing path opened under the water, leading into a tunnel of blue light. They stepped inside together, holding hands. Behind them, the firewives watched, whispering to the wind. She walks with power now. Yes, another hissed. But let us see if their love survives what comes next.